Today we're going to be discussing stand placement. We're going to talk about what I look for when I'm hanging a new set and things that can improve your guys' setups this coming season. And we'll start out by discussing what I'm looking for when I'm hanging a setup. That's going to be location and some of the factors that come into an area before I even get a stand put up. A couple important things to look for when hanging a new set is going to be high odds, low impact. So this stand right here, this setup, it's overlooking a food source. It's a microplot that we designed based off of this stand location right here. This is a west-northwest wind, and we know we have really good access to get to this spot. We park the truck, we come down a little gravel road, dip in the timber. We're only about 50-60 yards off the easement, so it's really low impact, and with a west-northwest wind, we're not pushing any deer out of the bedding. We're not blowing our scent into any bedding areas. I can come in, get up this tree, and out of here easy in the afternoons and even in the mornings. We don't have to worry about walking through cornfields or anything like that. So this spot's going to work out great multiple times throughout this season. It's probably about a 25-yard shot to my left here to our food source. And I don't necessarily want to set up right on top of the food source. That's another thing to keep in mind when hanging stands. Sometimes the trail that you feel like you want to be on, I like to be off of that trail a little bit, maybe 20-30 yards back from where I know the deer are going to be coming through. And that's just going to improve your entry and exit, and it's going to improve your stand location altogether. So when I'm coming in, I want to make sure that I set these sticks up on the back side of this tree, and then I'll put the stand out facing the food source. I'll probably catty corner it a little bit off to the left. And what that's going to do is it's going to set up a nice shot for me when I'm sitting down so I don't have to stand up. Any way that you can set your stand up to make it easier for you based off of where you know the deer are coming in and out of, that's another thing I keep in mind. I don't want to just get up there, throw the stand up, and then think to myself, well, deer are actually going to be coming on this side. I should switch the stand around the tree. So the best thing to do is think all that through ahead of time. When you're putting in food sources like food plots, know if you're going to be hunting over them, how are you getting in and out. So guys, if you can do low impact, high odds stands on your property, it's going to improve your hunts and it's going to improve your season. You're going to be able to get a few more sits in out of the same tree as well. And for me, I have a really small property, so I have to make sure that every single sit counts. I don't want to risk burning a stand location out because I don't have that many. I like to bounce around the farm. I like to use multiple different winds, and I like to use maybe 2 or 3 stands even in one location based off of different winds so I can get in and out of there a couple times. But the biggest thing is low impact, and make sure that your stand's going to be easy to get in and out of, and that's going to help you guys out this season. So when you're in the woods and you're looking for a new stand location, think to yourself, how am I going to enter and exit? Is this stand need to be on the left side of the tree or the right side of the tree? Am I going to be near food source? And then keep things in mind like thermals as well. If you're wanting to use a stand in the morning, especially during like the pre-rut and rut, I like to get those up high on ridges so I can use the rising thermals to my advantage. So as the thermals are rising in the morning, it's pushing my scent up as well as out. So that's going to make it less likely that I get winded by a deer. And then vice versa for afternoon sits, I like to be in the bottoms. I like to be low. I don't want to be in a valley or a bowl where the wind's going to be swirling, but I do want to be low. I don't necessarily want to sit up on a ridge, especially if there's a bench below it. In the evening, as that sun's starting to go down and thermals are starting to fall, if my wind's blowing off that hillside there, I'm good during the day, but as soon as they start to fall, they could fall down in that bench, and if deer are coming through there to bed or feed, they're likely going to catch my wind. So that's another thing to keep in mind when hanging stands, guys, is rising thermals and falling thermals. When you're down in a bowl, you're going to get a lot of swirling winds. They're really unpredictable, and it makes it a hard place to set a stand up. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this lone wolf thrown up in this tree today overlooking this new food source, and hopefully here in the next couple months we're going to have a big buck come through here, and maybe we can get an arrow through one. We'll be back next weekend, guys.